Hey everyone, it's VM Campos, comic book fan. I just bought a big old box of independent small press comics. Let's open it up together and talk all about them. Alright, so what this haul will be all about is a bunch of small press independent furry comics. Those are some of the hardest ones to get a hold of, the old stuff. In good condition, especially. They were often low print run, small press, and they just didn't survive in people's collections. So let's see what I was able to pick up. It was kind of a treasure trove on their website. So let's see. A little bit more mainstream is Usagi Yojimbo, number 1 of 3. This is the Dark Horse series. I remember this one. What year is this from? 1990. There's a date on the side somewhere. Anyway, it's like a beautiful watercolor cover. Usagi looking really tough, beautiful green tones and such. And he's kind of looking a little disheveled. Love that cover. This is when he was at Dark Horse Comics. Now this is a throwback right over here to Albedo Anthropomorphics number 2, the first appearance of Usagi Yojimbo. So this is again issue 2 of 3 of this limited run. Classic throwback to that original, here we go, 1995. Usagi's 3rd series. And so if we compare with the original, the character has kind of gone a little, has gone art-wise a little far off in terms of, well, this was 95, this was already 20 years ago. And here's Albedo number 2, his first appearance. So comparing the two, we've got that opening up the door, and this time maybe a little bit of time later with the assassin coming to get him. That's really cool that Sakai did both of these covers sort of an homage to each other. Obviously in the original he was kind of drawn a little differently on the covers, and the style has evolved to this. Usagi Yojimbo number 1, the Mirage series. This is 1993. So he was over at Fantagraphics in his first appearances, 1992, and after he finished his series at Mirage, home of the Ninja Turtles, he went on to Dark Horse, so adding more early Usagi appearances to my collection. Oh, I see over here Hepcats. So this is Hepcats Special Edition number 1, featuring all new supplementary material, mature themes and contents not intended for young children. So Hepcats is this classic early 90s, late 80s furry comic, and this is like the second print sort of thing, special edition. So it has extra material. Here was the original cover, which I believe had a foil treatment. So after the series got a little more popular, the creator, Martin Wagner, went back and redid number 1. As a matter of fact, he also went back and redid number 2. So this is number 2 special edition, a bonus to the Hepcats reprint library. So once again, this is a reprint of number 2, done a few years later after the original print. Very cool watercolor covers. And this is a comic that is like way more mature than you think. Yeah, it's funny animals, but it's like these stories of love and loss and illness, mental and physical. It's a really interesting book. At the same company, I managed to find, whoa, what is this? It's the original printing of Hepcats. Isn't that so meta right there? I got the reprint special edition, and then I got the original one. These are such low print runs, 2000 or so, that just for the collectability of it, if you're looking for something to add to your comic portfolio, you might want to think about some of these low print run independent black and white furry comics from these small publishers. This was published by Martin Wagner's own imprint. I got that one, and number 2 as well. So just again, like I got the special edition, I got the original ones at an amazing price. On eBay, I would pay honestly like 3 to 10 times more than what I paid for these, basically cover price. This company, Second Ed, amazing. You gotta check them out. if you want to get your early issues. So I got that because I already had number 3. And then so I wanted to continue the story with number 4. And this is, again, it's a very heavy book. It's very serious. It's not just funny animals. There's a lot going on. Main character is sick, and there's like violence and all of that. This is this is part number 2 of the Snowpiercer storyline that was actually never finished, unfortunately. So I wanted to pick up the original books and read them. There's just something that I really like about these old books. Then over here is Moo's. Okay, the company is Moo, and they published Zoo, which is an anthology series, again, from the early 90s, small press, black and white, color covers, but interior in black and white. So I wanted to pick this up because it was a number 1 issue, $2.95, and basically the same price nowadays, 20 years later. All right, I've got another issue here to add to my collection of Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle ripoffs. These are the preteen Dirty Jean Kung Fu Kangaroos. So after the Ninja Turtles in 1984 took over the world, there were so many independent publishers that were publishing these imitations. It was, 3 adjectives plus a noun. Mildly microwaved prepubescent hamsters and so forth, or gophers or whatever. There were so many turtle ripoffs. Finally, I have this one. This is from Lee Mars, underground comic artist of the 70s, published at Blackthorne. And it's just kind of hilarious and weird. These are kangaroos. I like the art on this one. I've seen some previews of it. And what do we have? Plus, an extraordinary short but critical appearance of the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles by Peter Laird. This is 1986. There were so many of these Ninja Turtles ripoffs, but here we have sort of like an official seal of approval from Peter Laird. Pretty cool. Here's where it all started with this, with Second Ed. I've been meaning to get a copy of this. I've been finding it very hard to find a copy of Albedo Anthropomorphics Volume 5, Number 1. They don't show up on eBay at all. They're never on eBay. You're never going to find this on eBay. There's been one copy that showed up a few months ago, and it was snatched up so fast. So I can't find any copies of these. I found copies of these at Second Ed. So I put it in my shopping cart so fast you wouldn't believe it. I think I broke my mouse. And then I started to browse, and I saw all of these other things, and I'm like, there's a lot of stuff here that I kind of like. So I bought way too much of it, but I love it. Anyway, this is Volume 5. After it was independently published in Thoughts and Images, and then Antarctic Press. Then they went on to Shanda, Fantasy Arts, in the final 2 issues. Unfortunately then, the creator's wife, the creator Steve Galacci, his wife got cancer at the start of issue number 2, basically in real life. So he put the book on hold and never finished it. And that was in 2005. So between 1984... actually 1983 with the prototype issue, all the way to 2005, Albedo was published on and off for just about 20 years. Shame that it never got finished. And, this is actually July 04. Number 2 came out in 05, I guess. So 20 years that this was published, never finished, unfortunately. And I finally have the last Albedo book to add to my collection. Such a dramatic series. It was first an anthology, then it focused much more on the main character, Irma Felna, and I can't wait to read this, finally in my collection. Another furry comic that is pretty important in the annals of furry history is Shanda the Panda. So this is issue number 50, published in 2018. This is the last issue. This is another fascinating comic that's been around since 1992 or so, on and off, published just on and off for so long. And finally, the final issue was published. Now, this seems to say right here, this seems to say 2009? So was this artwork that was held on to for literally 10 years? I gotta really see what the full story behind all of this is, because we have all of this. We have a Kathmandu story. We have M&T Comics. This is My Big Fat Panda Wedding. So Shanda the Panda, independently published comic from Shanda Fantasy Arts, although she was also published at Antarctic Press for a little while. This is the final issue, the end of an era. Okay, then we get some really interesting books over here, super rare. This is Yarf, number 5, The Journal of Applied Anthropomorphics. This is an early 1993 fanzine, $5. Handmade, hand printed with a thick cardstock cover. This is an early furry publication of the early 90s. And it was in the late 70s, early 80s that furry fandom itself kind of had this new generation. And I remember first seeing furry comics and such in the mid 90s, mid to late 90s when I went off to college. And so I had always heard about these mythical publications, these mythical independently published things such as Yarf. And I have here an early issue. Again, these are hard to find in good quality. They're just like so low print, very hard to find. And I got an early issue. I would have loved number 1, of course, but I don't know who has that. And eBay has either outlandish prices or no copies at all. And here's another couple of things that are just so amazing and hard to find. This is Refractions, an Albedo omnibus. The cover is not perfect, unfortunately, because again, these are such low print run, hard to find. This is the ancillary comic that goes along with Albedo Anthropomorphics. It's a pseudo-official fanzine in terms of these stories are canon, but they were published as a sort of a fan press. These are also extremely hard to find on eBay. Here's number 2. I need number 1, of course, but good luck finding it. And then there was a number 3. So also very hard to find. Beautiful art as always. And continuing the storylines in the world of Irma Felna. And it's got a lot of stories and art and letters. Oh, look at people's email addresses. A college email address from back in the 90s. That takes me back. I remember being this young hacker in college and just wanting to learn as much as I could about online shenanigans and such, and everyone having an email address from colleges. Amazing. I love this. Look at these dates, 1992, 1994. Amazing. This just takes me back to my youth as a young comic book / furry fan. And then lastly, oh, snapperoo, this is American Journal of Anthropomorphics. So again, another very, very early publication in the world of furry fandom. This is a Steve Martin cover. No, not that Steve Martin. This Steve Martin, famed furry artist back in the day. It's an early furry publication, just so historic. If you're one of these fans from nowadays, it's just so easy to find furry stuff. But back in the day, back in my day, it was actually printed like this in these magazines that were $10. $10 in 1993 is like $1,000 nowadays. And here I was able to get a copy 20 years later, 25 years later, and in really good condition. So this is amazing. So that was my haul from Second Ed. Just a lot of cool niche historical comics that you're not going to find anywhere. And obviously not everyone is a fan of these comics, but if you like furry comics, if you like independent comics, if you like small press comics, give me a like, a thumbs up, write a comment below. What do you think about these comics that I got? Interested in them? I hope so. If you're a fan of comics, I would think that you'd want to go check out as many sort of interesting niche comics as you can find, and just get into all aspects of comic books. Superheroes are the big thing, of course, but there's just so many other kinds of comics. Someone's gonna find a comic for every sort of fandom. So I hope you go check out your variety of comics out there and check out eBay and all of these small stores. This has been VM Campos, and I will see you in Old Edo.